let's go racing. We're in the starters' hands now. Once the lights go on, they'll go out and we will go racing. It is a 12-lap Superbike journey on the cards and a great start. Mitchell Rees, also a good start from Tone on that front row. So let's go have a look. I think it's going to be a Team Rees Honda 1-2 as they break into turn one. Elsa Hugenbosom dives up the inside. I was going to say it was a Team Rees 1-2, but Al Hugi, he's not mucking around here. He will not want to let the New Zealand Superbike Championship leader in Mitchell Rees get away with this one. Scotty Moyer's getting himself in the nitty-gritty in the S's as well. He goes up the inside of Tony Rees. He's looking for more out of that bike after a fourth place in race 2 of the weekend. So Nick, this is going to be shaping up to be a brilliant 12-lap Superbike showdown.
Yeah, exactly, Brad. And just when we thought we were going to be seeing a Team Rees 1-2 repeat there, look at Al Hugi and Scotty Moyer on the Yamaha R1s just sneak in, coming through the infield here. So that's really exciting, and this is going to be awesome to see Al Hugi giving Mitch a push up the front there, because these two have spent the last couple of years dicing with each other on all of New Zealand's great racetracks. So, man, this is going to be exciting. So we'll just take a look at the times as they come around past the strip.
Oh, this is going to be the feature race of the weekend for sure. 12 laps Superbike. We've got all our contenders up the front. Mitchell Rees, Alistair Hugenbosom, Scotty Moyer. This is on Tony Rees, Dale Finch. That's 4th and 5th with Richie Dibbon. He's stuck there in 6th place, so some more quality championship points coming for Richie Dibbon here if he can hang on to that one here. Zach Fuller on that M1 BMW, getting faster and faster every session he goes out on the racetrack, so he'll be loving that on that beautiful Moggy supported M1 Beamer. Great to have that out on the racetrack. Wishing Jaden Asana full speedy recovery from his big crash at Hampton Downs a few months ago, and a real shame not to have Jaden Asana. He was building quite nicely into the summer of road racing, so unfortunate to not have Jaden here, but good to have Zach get his opportunity in his debut ride on a Formula 1 bike. So let's go racing. Mitchell Rees just has that beautiful drive out of Higgins. He looks to be the man to beat for sure, as we've got Al Hugi and Scotty Moyer. Will they have an answer to him? He hasn't really been challenged much this weekend. He's ticked off nice and tidy laps for the last 2 races and got maximum points, but we know Al Hugi and Scotty Moyer, they'll be hurting after their mixed fortunes this weekend.
Yeah, certainly. So just confirming that 1, 2, 3 of Mitch, Al Hugi and Scotty Moyer, and now it is Mitch who is the fastest out on the track. Best lap time set there at a 1 minute and 6.2. So Mitch there is putting the pace on there, and just watching Al diving in through splash here, trying to get a bit of action on the infield. And it'll be interesting to see what Tony's going to do in this race as well, Brad, if he's going to make a dive as well for the number 1 position. And look at that, just as we mentioned, Tony, he's just been snaked past what Dale Finch managed to get through there in the hairpin, so that was a huge move.
That was a good move, yeah, just took the line away, just dived up the inside. It's a classy move there, nice and tidy, just brake check Tony a little bit. Tony had to stand up. It's all nice and fair, hard racing out there. So Dale Finch gets himself now up into 4th place, and great credit to him. Current National 600 Supersport champion, first season on the Superbike, and already top 4 racing. So let's watch our race leaders out of turn 7 and onto the front straight. Number 1 on the bike, number 1 on the race. He's had a flawless weekend so far. Can he keep it together? Mitchell Rees crosses the stripe, ticks off another lap. Al Hugi and Scotty Moyer. Scotty Moyer looks quick there. He was quicker than Al Hugi by a slight margin that time around, so look out for him to come on as the later part of this race goes on. Dale Finch and Tony Rees. That's 4th and 5th with Richie Dibbon. Not letting those top group get away either, so look out for Richie Dibbon. He might have something up his sleeve. But then look to Zach Fuller on the number 80 M1 BMW, and then go to Dave Sharp on that DP Racing KMD Kawasaki machine. This is going to shape up nicely. We've still got a massive 8.5, 9 laps to go there, Nick, and can anyone catch Mitchell Rees?
Yeah, well, if I think the man that could do it, it's probably going to be Al Hugi there. So this is awesome. This is just what we want to see. And we've seen this in previous series as well, Brad, where Al Hugi has been chasing the tail of Mitch Rees and vice versa. So we're no stranger to this excitement. But just taking a look as well, the difference between first and second has stayed relatively consistent over the last few laps. But just as they're coming across the timing mark now, we'll be able to update the fans. So let's just take a look. So Al Hugi 0.57 of a second behind Mitch Rees.
Yeah, now first into the 105s too, 105.77. Also Mitchell Rees got a 105.79. So they're both into the 105s, but the fastest lap of the race now with Alistair Hugenbosom, and these guys have broken free. We just talked about how Scotty Moore was slightly quicker than Al on that lap before. and Al has responded as well as Mitchell Reese. So those front two, first time in the entire weekend we've dipped into the 105s. And we are on hot pace here at the moment. So 105.7 for the pair of Mitchell Rees and Alice Hugenbosom, and they are clearing out here. So look out for this one here. Scotty Moyer needs to be careful. He's getting gobbled up here by Tony Rees and Dale Finch. So check this one out, Nick. It's shaping up quite nicely, but still a massive 8 laps to go. So a long way to go, but these two at the front putting the hammer down.
Yeah, good to see the 12 lapper there. We've just had a rider come down as well on the hairpin there, so we'll just get an update and check who that was. But interesting to see as well, Tony Rees being able to get back past Dale Finch as well to reclaim 4th place, and we'll just see that update. So now he's close up. He's closing in on Scotty Moyer as we head into turn 1 there. So just to take a look there, recapping your race leader of Mitch Rees.
He got it done too, Tony, up the inside into turn 1. What a move, Tony Rees. He's an experienced campaigner and he knows how crucial it is to get under brakes into turn 1. He'll be loving that. So while Mitch and Al sneak off into the distance, they didn't improve on their lap times, but they were still in those 105s and 106s last time around. 0.8 of a second is the gap between first and second, but then it's a massive 3 seconds further. Back to Tony Rees in 3rd place. So, oh man, we're on here. Don't know where to look. The battle for the lead is within a second, but then the battle for the podium is going to come alive. Tony Rees got himself on the podium a couple of times this weekend. He will love to come away here 3 for 3. I don't think Tone is entered to do the Cemetery Circuit, so we'll leave one of these guys to come in there, but making a real statement. The veteran of the class, Tony Rees, still top 3 New Zealand Superbike contender. It's absolutely fantastic, Nick.
Yeah, certainly. And look at Scotty Moyer trying to get around them there. So having a chat to Scotty on the lunch break there, Brad, and they're just trying to get a bit more out of the Yamaha, and still searching for its strong and weak points with the bike. So bit of a development process there for the Scotty Moyer race team, Promoto out of Taupō there. So awesome to see him giving Tony a good nudge, keeping him honest out on the track, but just keeping you updated on the race lead there. Still Mitch Rees comfortably past Al Hoogie. So awesome to see that our battle for 3rd place though is still pretty tight, and as Brad would say, you could well and truly throw a picnic blanket over those 3 guys, couldn't you?
Absolutely, this is going to be red hot. We're halfway through this race. 6 laps done, 6 laps to go. And it's Mitchell Rees and Alice Hugenbosom. They have snuck off into the distance. They got a 4.5 second lead back to 3rd place, which is any one of those 3 riders. Tony Rees, Scott Moyer or Dale Finch. It's been swapping around for the last couple of laps, so leaving it all on the table, these guys here. Our showy helmets, Formula 1 New Zealand Superbike Championship on the line here. We're going to go to 4 more rounds after this one, 2 in the South Island, 2 in the North. So these championship points are so crucial, and we'll give you an update of the full top 10 here. Mitchell Rees leads ahead of Alice Hugenbosom. We then go to Tony Rees with Scotty Moyer in behind him. Dale Finch there in 5th place. We've got Richie Dimmon in 6th. Zach Fuller is still there in the 7th place. He's got about a 0.5 of a second buffer between him and Dave Sharp in 8th. Hamish Tars is up there in 9th place. Luke Riley, shout out to Luke on the iTools team. That's 10th place. Ben Tippins, good podium here on Saturday. He's in 11th place. Isaac Markham Barrett, which is there in 12th place. Another one of the iTools Aussie Performance Machines. Craig Coolham in 13th. And 14th for Tony Sellers, our last remaining runner for Formula 1 and Superbike. Nick, we haven't seen much action on this lap, but we're starting to get into the business end when they cross the line. 4 laps to go. And is it going to take something special from Al Hoogie to reel him in?
Yeah, it's certainly going to take something special, all right, because, man, Mitchell has just been putting on a clinic, hasn't he? Really consistent, clean lines. There hasn't been anything spicy from him. He's been absolutely flawless with his racing, so, no, we love to see that. But just take a look at this. His dad's got a different case, however. He's got a lot more on his plate to deal with. Scotty Moyer and Dale Finch all fighting for a bit of real estate up the top end of Manfeild there, Brad.
Yeah, also another spicy battle is Zach Fuller and Dave Sharp. Dave's getting himself into this race well and truly, and he's piling on the pressure. So that DP Racing Kawasaki of Dave Sharp, he's piling on the pressure for Zach Fuller. So we'll see if Zach in his debut weekend in Formula 1 racing can withstand the pressure. We've got 3.5 laps to find out, and we're brought to us by Shoei Helmets, just part of the awesome sponsorship team here, and checking out the XSPR Pro helmet, one of the most technologically advanced helmets on the market, and bringing us this Formula 1 action. And we have been treated to some spectacular stuff. Mitchell Rees, pole position and a race win on Saturday in trying conditions. Come out this morning and made a real statement, but this one here is going to be just as good if he can hang on to it. He's got a few lap riders to contend with, but at the moment cannot speak highly enough of this performance. The current New Zealand Superbike champion about 10 months ago at Teretonga, he had a massive crash, and to come away with that and be racing within the calendar year, I think it speaks very highly of the determination, the dedication for the recovery, and this man here is putting it all together in the first weekend of the summer. So let's go racing with Mitchell Reeves. He's into the S's ahead of Al Hoogie. The gap is now about 2.5 seconds, so making a real statement. Lapping in the 105.6 his last time around, so he's actually getting quicker and quicker as this race develops. And now we can see with about 2.5 laps to go, Nick, it's looking like only a disaster will cost him from here.
Yep, and similar things we saw, Brad, earlier in the day as well. Mitchell has been super consistent and just holding on to that first place there. So, what an awesome comeback for Mitch from what he's been through this year to be able to bounce back like that has been really impressive. So, awesome to see that as well with Al Hoogie as well. He's really looking for a step on the podium there, and he's well cementing himself into that second position there. And Tony Rees as well, just holding on in third place. But like you mentioned earlier, Brad, just taking a look at a couple of the other battles we're dealing with as well. Richie Dibben is fighting to make himself known into the top 5 there. Just a wee bit back now from Dale Finch though, but Richie, coming out here and doing 2 classes today has been a mammoth task. So awesome to see him out here doing the dual classes. And as well here, Zach Fuller and Dave Sharp going at it as they come down the home straight. So a lot to love here, Brad.
Oh, absolutely there is. There's so much to love. The Suzuki Series has put on an absolute show for us this weekend. Thank you for joining us if you're in the crowd. It's been a pretty good walking crowd here this weekend. And also a massive thank you for the people that have joined us on Ctas as well. So racing hard. Mitchell Rees and Al Hoogie. So 105 just keeps ticking them off. He was a 106.1, so still ever consistent lap times, Mitchell Rees. And the white flag ready and waiting for him. He's just down and back straight at the moment. And that beautifully presented Team Rees Honda in second place. Al Hoogie. Now Al had a did not start on Saturday. Mechanical gremlins cost him a start in race number 1, so he come out here for his first race of the weekend this morning, grabbing some data, and this will feel pretty good too, to grab himself a comfy second place. And now he's got the pace to get out there on that Alphen window system Blue Crew Yamaha. This will be invaluable for him, but Tony Rees certainly not letting him get away with it either. So look at Tony saving his best for last, and we've got the white flag out. So 1 lap to go. Mitchell Rees is in the S's. He's comfy as Alistair Hugenbosom. He is there, but a 108.4 for Al Hoogie. So he is slipping off the timesheets, and Tony Rees is now getting himself amongst it. So could we see a Team Rees Honda 1-2 here? Anything can happen here. We're half a lap away, and we'll watch this one with open eyes. Mitchell Rees down the centre straight. He's gone. But this one here, second place. Al Hoogie, we talked about it. He was lonely 2 laps ago now. Tony, the veteran, talked to Tony at the lunch break. He said he was really feeling the 12 lapper this morning, so I can't imagine what's going through him at the moment. Into turn 6 they go. Higgins, beautiful bank to right-hander. Tony gets a great drive out of there. Can Alistair hold on for second place? He needs to salvage as many championship points as he can as we celebrate in style. Mitchell Rees out of turn 7 and down the front straight. This is going to be 3 from 3 and a flawless weekend with pole position. A real statement in New Zealand Superbike Championship level racing for Mitchell Rees. And then hang on to your hats, because second place is coming. It's going to stay with Al Hoogie. He's going to hang on by the seat of his pants ahead of the legend Tony Rees. So an all-star podium there. Scotty Moy's going to come home for another 4th place and grab some good championship points there. And Dale Finch on his debut season in Superbike racing will grab himself another 5th place. Richie Dibben comes home in 6th. And then you look to that great little battle that went on all race with Zach Fuller and Dave Sharp. With Dave getting there just narrowly by 1/10 of a second over Zach Fuller. So that was a fantastic battle. 7th and 8th place. Luke Rye's going to come home at 9th ahead of Hamish Tarr and Ben Tibbins, with Isaac Mark and Barrett rounding out our top 12. Craig Coolham's going to come home. He's still on track, but in 3rd, 10th at the moment. And Tony Sellers from Kiri on the Project 54 Kawasaki. He'll come home in about what will be 14th place, the lone runner there out the back. So well done to Mitchell Rees and Nick. That is one hell of a statement, winning a Superbike race by 5.2 seconds. And Alistair Hugenbosom just narrowly hanging on over Tony Rees. Something for everyone there in our showy helmets, Formula 1 Superbike.
Yeah, certainly. It's definitely setting the tone for the most exciting motorcycling event of the year next in a couple of weeks' time at Cemetery Circuit, Brad, that's for sure. Mitchell's definitely laid down the challenge. Unfortunately, we couldn't see any racing at Taupo the week previously, but man, these guys have obviously been keen to get some track time, and man, Mitchell has really set the example for this season, hasn't he?
Oh, this is something special, shaping up like a beautiful summer. We are going to now cross to Neil, who has our showy helmets, Formula One Superbike podium. It's going to be a legendary Tony Rees Hall of Fame Motorcycle New Zealand member with the awesome 2020 New Zealand Superbike champion Al Hoogie. He comes home in second place, but the current New Zealand Superbike champion is going to top off a perfect weekend and make it 3 from 3. So let's hear it for our Team Rees Honda man, Mitchell Rees. Over to you, Neil.
Wow, the three of them arrive here at the podium almost simultaneously. It's the first person to put his hands out. Tony Rees. Well, when did I first saw him ride as a junior on a 80cc Kawasaki motocross bike in 1984, I think, 84. So that is coming up 40 years, folks, coming up 40 years. So how cool, how cool. Of course, he went on to have a bit of a dab at big-time motocross before he quickly changed to road racing. And the rest, as they say, is history. Of course, rode here in World Superbike days back in 88, 89 and 90, of course. Went on to do Malaysian events. Of course, he's been around the world, part of World Endurance. So pretty special to see just what this man has been able to do. And Tony Rees is still doing it on the scene at the moment. And he's pretty excited, folks, because he's actually got a fresh bike. Now, he'll admit himself he's had a few hand-me-downs over the years, but to have a fresh bike, you'd have to say, Tony, that with a bike as sparkling as this, there'd be no excuses.
Well, did you see how far behind Mitch I was? No, I've got no excuses. Hey, some people say I'm silly and old doing it, but I still enjoy it. So stuff the rest of them, I'll have to keep having a go, you know. Hey, I didn't play wingman very well in that one. Like Al got me straight away, which was a bit of a shame, bit of a wheelie off the line. But good start, enjoyed it. It was greasy. The track's greasy, but it's not conducive to doing fast lap times today. It's greasy, you know. Just
Pretty hot out there.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I think I handled 12 laps better than I thought I was going to then.
Yeah.
You know, 12 laps doesn't sound like long, but when you're hanging on to this beast and done no training because I've been working on them.
Yeah.
I said to Mitch, you go and do the training and I'll do the work on it. And halfway through that first one, I'm going, oh, that was a dumb idea. We should have shared the work and shared the training. It was great. Thank you very much to everyone coming out. It was a great day.
Thank you, Tony. Going to be at Wanganui? Come on.
No. I said in 2018 when I won at Wanganui, I've done enough there, and I walked away with that on a high, and I just leave it at that, you know. I feel like I could go there and have a go, but, you know, those boys have been mocking me because I didn't make the 48-second bracket, but said, the track got better and the bikes got better, eh?
Lovely to have him with us. Come on, another round of applause for Tony Rees. What a legend. What an absolute legend, folks. So pretty cool to see here with Al that time, mate. And the old fella made you have work again, didn't he?
Yeah, I know. I just needed to. Better start. The team took a bit of a, I wouldn't say a gamble, educated guess for the second race. So we've got some good notes leading into next time, but a few things that really worked out, and then a couple of things that hindered us a little bit as well. You probably noticed the last couple of laps, our times just dropped quite a bit, and then Tony Rees was sort of catching up and saw the numbers getting smaller and smaller. Normally you like to see them get bigger and bigger with the gaps, but pretty happy for us at the start of this. Happy considering what's happened, and like I said before, we wanted to put the blue in between the red, so hopefully we head down south to sort of the tracks I know a little bit more, and sort of, I still call my home tracks, and hopefully we can show them around there. But we did what we could, and to just finish strong like this we're going away happy. So.
Well done, Al. Well done. Great speech, great professional. Once again, as always, we know it, respect it, and love it. Well, Tony, the boys made you work. Mitch, the boys made you work a little harder, mate, that time.
Yeah, there was a little bit more grip, which helped. And obviously, don't know who's behind you, but yeah, just obviously see the pit board and just keep pushing, and just trying to be consistent, you know, just first round of the season, so just get the points, and my first ever pole and 3 wins, so yeah, it's
Hello. Fortunately, there we go, about a few breakdown. That's cutting out badly. Can we try and turn around here and make this a little bit better this time? But, hey, can you think back to your best performance? It just looks so smooth. It looks like it's easy day in the park.
Yeah, to be fair, just probably a little bit reserve. Just can't feel like I can push to my potential. So yeah, just playing smart at the moment, and yeah, hey, just gotta keep working.
Right, indeed. A couple of fellas that won't be at Wanganui. Does that make the mind any more at ease, the fact that it may be a little easier there?
Nah, it's a different story, Wanganui. Like, obviously, Scotty's around there too, and myself and a few of the other boys, a few of the local boys. So, hey, Wanganui's, completely different story. You got to ride so different around that place. So, yeah, it's just get up there and have some fun, and yeah, try and come away with the Suzuki Series win, and we'll see what we can do.
Well done, Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell Rees, as we go back to another race. Here we are.